because I'm starting the stream now. There we go. It's not a Galaxy S3 though. Log on here and see. Check it out. I wonder if it'll display it now. Just want to say. Watching you. All right. Let's see here. Open this up. And this. Keeps wanting to put a different thing on here. Everything's up and ready to go. Oh. Yeah. There we go. There we go. No. There we go. Right. Guys, how are you? It is Henry with Keep You Mobile. I've got a Droid Turbo 2 here that is having some charging issues. They can't get the phone to charge. On these droids, the charge port is soldered to the main board on the phone. So you can't just pop these from a flex. You either have to replace the charge port or repair it somehow. So I've already got the back of the phone off. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the phone. It probably won't autofocus because I've got that turned off on this one. But the charge port is right here. They were having issues when they plug it in. It wiggled around quite a bit. It was loose. What I'm thinking is the charge port more than likely was broke loose from the connections on it, so it probably just needs to be resoldered. So we'll look at this through a microphone, or microscope, not a microphone. I'm thinking about microphones right now because I had a buddy of mine, Rico, turn me on to a new microphone that I just got, and I have got his channel pulled up. If you guys have not seen his channel, you need to check it out. Let me go to my desktop here real quick. This is his channel right here, Rico's Variety Show. He does a lot of reviews on different things. Awesome guy, awesome channel. I know him personally. He's a good guy. So we were talking about microphones and how I needed something that was just a little bit more clear than what I had, because I was just using a little headset, and then I was using the microphone on the webcam that I have that you guys see me on. So he had got me hooked on this microphone and told me to give it a try. After I gave it a try, it was awesome. It is this one right here. I'm not sponsored by these guys, but I would have loved to have got one of these for free. They're not too bad. I think they were like 20-30 bucks on eBay is what I paid for it. So it's a powered mic, and it should sound pretty good. I did a couple tests on it. It should sound pretty clear. It's just a microphone, lapel mic. Comes with a little battery pack here. I'm doing a review on it. You can turn the power on and off, and it comes with a a little watch battery is what it looks like. So he turned me on to it, and it's actually been working out really well. It sounds really good. It picks up really clear. Obviously, you guys can hear it. It sounds really good. So if you guys haven't checked him out, there's a link down below to go to his page. Definitely like and subscribe to his page. Awesome guy. Does a lot of reviews, and he gives you his honest opinion on it. So I have got a Droid Turbo 2 here that is giving me some issues. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull up a microscope view, and we're going to look at this together on here. Let me go ahead and point this down towards the bench here so you guys can see the phone and what I'm working on. Why is my microscope not popping up? And now I can't get my microscope to come up on camera. That's not good. I have to check that out, because it would be no bueno to have a microscope and it's not working. Go here to settings real quick, properties. I have all this stuff all figured out, right? How am I getting here? Let's go here. Let's see. All right. Let me go ahead and unplug this, plug it back in. I think it just may have reset on my system. This back on, and then we will be back at it. PC camera. Let me take this out of here. Let me add it back. Capture device. And there it is. That'll work. And I'm getting a telephone call. I will answer that later. So here we go. So we have got this up here now. Let's go ahead and pop this resolution up so that you guys can see this a whole lot better. Go ahead and shrink this down. Wow. There we go. Here. There you go. So you guys should be able to see me now. Go ahead and we're going to adjust this microscope here so you guys can see. Let me pull out the depth of field here, and let me put this in focus for you guys. So now you guys can see the charge port on this phone. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so you guys can see the connections that are on this and show you what I've been looking at. Zoom in a little bit closer. You guys get a really good close shot of this. Get that back up here. Alright, so now you guys can see the charge port here. Get this in focus a little bit better. Okay. They were complaining that moving it around, it would charge and not charge. So I'm thinking that there's just a broke connection on the pins in the charge port, and I was absolutely right. I started poking around on these things. This one right here is solid. I'm pushing on it. It's not moving. The one next to it, though, this one, flexing just a little bit. You can see the pin moving, and this one definitely, see that pin move, and the solder is moving with it. So these are broken connections here. That one, wow, look, I can almost move that whole entire pin. And then I've got this one back here that looks like it needs to be reflowed just a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to touch this up with a little bit of leaded solder. Shouldn't take too long on this repair, so it should be pretty easy. Go ahead and put a little flex on this joint back here. Let's go ahead and flex that up. It just helps that solder adhere a little bit better. It cleans up the area as well, so it activates with heat. I'm going to change the tip out on this. Sorry if that's loud. Alright, so changing up the tip now. I'm going to use a pointed tip that I can get in there a little bit better with. I'm going to go ahead and probably turn the phone around just so I can get to that charge port a little bit easier without messing anything up. Let me move the microscope for you guys again. Get it back over here on this charge port. And let me refocus. Alright, so you guys will be able to see those pins a little bit easier. I'm going to go ahead and hit this with some heat just to clear up and make that a little bit clear. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I want to touch each one of these pins with the soldering iron just to reflow the solder. And I'll probably add a little bit of solder with it. Yeah, I'm going to need to add some solder. I'm going to bring my solder in here. I'm going to add a little bit of solder to this. Maybe clean that tip a little bit better. And I notice on these pads, you can usually the solder will go up and over those contact points, and they're not doing that. So they've soldered it from the bottom, and it hasn't really had a chance to really grab onto that and wrap around that solder joint, which is not the best way to solder these. So let's go ahead and come at it again one more time after I've cleaned the tip of the soldering iron off. And let's see if we can go ahead and reflow that. That with a glob of solder there. I want to try to get that on that pin as best as I can. And make sure that I get enough solder on there. Make sure you do not touch the top of that. Cause that to bridge. You're going to have major issues down the road. There's another good one. There's another good one. Another good one. And one more. Now these ones, these bigger ones right here, these ground planes, it takes a little bit more. See, I got a little bit too much solder on that one. It takes a little bit more on these bigger pads just because they are ground planes. So the ground planes will take that heat and they'll absorb it. You've got to really heat that joint up, but you don't want to heat it up too much. You don't want to damage your charge port or any traces on the board. So, man, that's a lot of solder. I don't like that. I could leave it like that. It wouldn't hurt anything. I just OCD about it. I want it to look clean. So I'm going to put a little bit more flux down on here. Just to... And you'll notice when there's not enough flux, you'll start getting mountains. Like what's showing up on here. These little points. But when you put flux down, it tends to help it flow a little bit better like that. Tends not to mountain up on you. I'm just going to reflow these couple, make sure that they're good solder joints. And that should be it. Go ahead and hit this pad one more time, heat this up really good. I want that solder to flow on that pad and pretty much cover the entire pad. Turn around and use the tip of that so I don't do anything else, rub against anything else and damage that. And clean the tip again one more time on this. And we will go from here. Put just a little bit more solder, just a clean piece on there. Leave it that way. See, I got a little bit too much on there. One on the top of that. Man, I am soldering like an amateur today. I'll make sure that none of that solder got above that, so I will switch tips out one more time. I'm going to switch over to that flat tip. Sorry if that's a little loud again. This flat tip's going to give me... Okay. This flat tip's going to give me just a little bit more surface area when I'm soldering, just to heat this up a little bit better. And that way I do not, and it'll pull some of this solder off like that. I don't want all that solder on there. Heat this surface area up there. There we go. Now I'm making sure that I'm not touching anything anywhere, that I haven't damaged it. And those all look good. Go across the top of this real quick. Get all this excess solder off. Or spread it out a little bit more evenly. Alright, now we're going to look at the pads a little bit sideways so we can see up into there. Just to make sure that this is done and done right. Clear this up. Nothing is touching. Looks nice and clear. You guys can see up underneath those pads. And this has been reflowed. So I will clean this up with a little bit of alcohol and a cotton swab, and it will be set and ready to go. What I'm going to do real quick is I want to go ahead and plug it in and show you guys the front screen. So let me switch over the camera view, put it back on the front cam here. I'm going to plug this up to a charger and show you guys that it is charging. I forgot to show you guys that it wasn't charging at the beginning. So let's plug that in. Go ahead and plug the battery back in. And now we have a charge light. So this bad boy is charging. We fixed it. It's working. So guys, thanks for joining me in this video. If you guys would like to see any more videos, live streams, obviously I'll be doing those. But if you guys want to see any shorter ones, any longer ones, any anything in particular you guys are wanting to see, hit me up down below. Leave a comment, like, share, subscribe, definitely. And let me know what you guys want to see. If you guys want to see longer streams, if you guys want to see shorter ones, if you guys just want me to record something and then throw it up, not do a live stream. I like doing live streams because I'm confident in the work that I do. I'm 90% sure that I'll be able to fix it, that I'm not going to mess it up. So I'm pretty confident in the job that I do here. But if you guys have any questions or anything like that, if you need to send us something, we do take in mail-in orders to fix your phones. So we do a lot of liquid damage. We do a lot of data recovery, like this phone here. That was just a reflow of a charge port, so I didn't have to change anything out or anything like that. Nobody in this area will do that. We're the only ones that do micro soldering in this area. So join us next time on the next stream that we do. Like, subscribe, share. Leave a comment if you like it. If you don't, leave a comment. And we'll definitely put on some content that you guys like. So thanks for joining us today, and thanks for letting us keep you mobile.